We apologize to Jeff Cole there. We have a tornado warning, so we're going to have to interrupt this story to go right to Scott. What can you tell us, Scott?
Yeah, that's right. Keeping tabs on this severe weather that's been rolling through. And of course, we have a little bit of rotation with this cell moving toward the I-95 corridor. So let's get right to Ultimate Doppler and show you what we're watching as far as that particular cell that is moving on off to the north and the east. We have that tornado warning for northern Newcastle County right now, as well as for southeastern Chester County and also southwestern Delaware County in southeastern Pennsylvania until about 5:30. So once again, we're talking about the potential for this tornado moving through Landenberg, or about 7 miles north of Newark, Delaware, moving northeast 40 miles per hour. So once again, some rotation with this as we look at Ultimate Doppler. Lots of wind energy with this system. So once again, we'll kind of zoom in and show you what we're watching. Sections of northern Newcastle County, southern Chester County, as well as a sliver of Delaware County until 5:30. We have that tornado warning. So these are picking up intensity as they continue pushing to the north and east. 40-mile-per-hour storm. I don't know if we have any cameras of the Wilmington area to show just how ominous the cloud cover is, as well as the dark conditions. But we've been talking about torrential downpours with this system, and I just showed you that the cloud tops were growing to 40,000 feet high into the atmosphere with those strong downdrafts producing that torrential rainfall with this system. So once again, this has had a history of severe weather all the way back into Baltimore and D.C. You can see all of those storm reports. So that's really been the calling card with this particular system. Vivid lightning as well. We're talking about cloud to ground lightning with this. But once again, as we take a look at the warning map to kind of get your bearings, we are keeping tabs on northern Newcastle County, in particular north of Newark, Delaware. That's where we have that potential tornado. This will be rain wrapped as well, because we're talking about rainfall rates 2 to 3 inches per hour with this particular cell. So we'll kind of zoom in again, showing you within this red box. We also have those severe thunderstorm warnings, but northern Newcastle County, as you get into sections of Delaware County, Chadds Ford, you're included in that. Hocassin, Delaware, you're in it. South of the Westchester area and southern Chester County as well. So as we look at some of the analysis that we have here at FOX29, you can see it's had a history of some weak rotation pushing just out of sections of Maryland into sections of northern Newcastle County. So that's kind of what we're watching as far as a little bit of rotation, some spin in the atmosphere. It's been weak, but nonetheless, Doppler radar indicated a tornado for this particular area within this red box. So as we kind of zoom in again, places that are potentially under this would be Hocassin, Delaware, Pike Creek, sections of Wilmington, especially as you get up toward 202, a major thoroughfare through sections of Newcastle County, moving into Delaware County. So we'll zoom in this particular area. Kennett, you're under that, as well as Chadds Ford. We talked about that. 322 is in it through sections of Delaware County. So this as we zoom in, you can see it's just to the south and west of Media. Doesn't include Media, but it does include sections of Delaware County stretching back just south and west of Media, back through 202 as you get through 322, as well as Highway 1, moving through Delaware County and also into southern sections of Chester County. So we talked about the heat, the humidity. It's been building throughout the day. We still have that severe thunderstorm watch in effect. We're on that scale of 3 enhanced, and the dew point temperatures really tell the story. Very tropical in nature. It's the air you can wear. Those feels like temperatures have been near 100 degrees. We also take a look at helicity. This is also something that potentially can produce some tornadoes. We have some low values across the area. That's why we've kind of been saying that threat has been low but not no for a brief spin up of a tornado. So the flood situation is well to our south and west, but these are producing torrential downpours. Some of the storm reports with this, I mean, we're talking about that severe thunderstorm warning stretching from Chester County all the way back through Baltimore into D.C., the Chesapeake Bay Bay Area, and that is why we're keeping tabs on this particular cell pushing to the north and to the east at about 40 miles per hour. So once again, this has had a history of producing some hail off to the south and west. Zooming into this particular area under the tornado warning, it includes sections of northern Wilmington, moving up I-95 between Wilmington and Claymont, Delaware. Hockessin is in the tornado warning, as well as Highway 1, Highway 202, as we continue to watch this. So once again, over the next couple of hours, heavy rain pushes toward Philadelphia as well as some of the shore points. Temperatures, though, will be rain cooled, and we will start to see things weaken a little later on. But once again, we're kind of in the intensity because take a look at this. Those temperatures currently 91 degrees for Philadelphia. So behind this system, you can see some of the rain cooled air, and that will be unfolding as we lose that daytime heating. But
hey, Scott.
Right now, we are still looking at some problems. Yes, Sheba?
All right, so you called for that Wilmington camera, and we're seeing it right there on the right-hand side of the screen there. So when you initially called for it, the skies actually looked a little pretty, but we can see the visibility being impacted there. I'm just hearing that there's, is this Westchester that we're looking at? That is... Okay, so that is Westchester now on the top, and we can clearly see that the storm system is moving into that area right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's switch sources if we can and go to our Barron computer and take a look at some of the velocity that we're kind of seeing as we kind of zoom in through sections of Newcastle County as well as Delaware County into southern Chester County. So there's some weak rotation with this, and you can see right now as we kind of look at what's happening, we're looking at winds going toward the radar and away from the radar. So we'll zoom in. We'll continue zooming in, showing you some of these particular areas just north of Newark, Delaware, Pike Creek, as well as the Wilmington area as we take a look right around 202. We'll kind of keep zooming in just to show you that there has been some weak rotation in this particular area. Also southern sections of Chester County moving into sections of Delaware County. So we'll just keep zooming in and show you some of the areas in question that could potentially be dealing with a rain-wrapped tornado. There was some weak rotation right around Way Road, moving toward Kirk Road. Once again, this is in Newcastle County, Delaware, Rockland Road as well. And then I'll put on some of the shear trackers just to kind of see. We were watching some of that weak rotation that was moving through. You can see it just outside of Newark, Delaware, toward Pike Creek. So that is indicating that there was some weak rotation with that. And once again, the radar, we'll put that on, and you can see that those storms have been pushing to the north and to the east at about 30 miles per hour. So what I'm going to do right now is just kind of pause the radar here and query some of the areas in question within this box. That's what we're watching. So here we go. We have places like Brandywine Summit. Right now you're under that potential tornado. Johnson's Corner, 514, Dilworth Town around 515, Concordville 516, moving toward Ivy Mills around 518, Chelsea at 519, Glen Mills at about 519. So these are heavily populated areas in sections of Newcastle County, northern Newcastle County, as well as Delaware County. So right now that particular rain-wrapped tornado is kind of right over the Chadds Ford area, Brandywine Creek vicinity. So there we go, zooming in, you can see Highway 1 right there. Highly populated areas and well-traveled roads. Highway 1, you have 202 as well, just to the east of Chadds Ford. That's what we're watching. So this is moving to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. The cloud tops between 35 and 40,000 feet. So that's about flight level, as we talked about at the top of the broadcast. Also a good chance for this to have some hail with it. So we've been looking at potential quarter-size quarter-sized hail with this as it pushes to the north and east at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. So that's why we're following this as it continues pushing on off to the north and east. Now, winds, regardless of a tornado or not, are going to be gusting 70 miles per hour with this as it continues pushing on off to the east. So it's had a history, once again, producing some quarter-sized hail, winds gusting 60 to 70 miles per hour. Pushing on off to the northeast and now at about 45 miles per hour. That just updated there. So once again, you can see find your town, find your city. And we're talking about this having a history of winds over 70 miles per hour, pushing to the northeast at about 55 miles per hour. Some of the locations include Brandywine Summit there, Thornton, moving through sections of Delaware County right now. I think the worst of it's pushing just outside of northern Newcastle County right now, just to the north of places like Hockessin, Delaware, into Chadds Ford, moving toward Glen Mills as well. You can see by 5:21, that's what we're tracking here as it continues on off to the east-northeast at its current speed. So this has had a history of damaging winds. It's had a history of some quarter-sized hail. So once again, also, we're talking about very heavy rainfall with this. Those dew points have been in the 70s, tropical in nature. So we're going to squeeze out a lot of moisture with this. And we've been talking about this, preparing everyone for this all week, how the thing with the heat and humidity with a front, that kind of is a mechanism that provides lift in the atmosphere, and that will give us the energy to potentially produce severe weather. So the main players this evening are going to be heavy rainfall, gusty winds, as well as maybe another isolated tornado, and that's what we have right here. This would be rain wrapped as it is underneath a lot of rainfall. Rainfall rates have been anywhere from about 2 to 3 inches per hour with this particular cell as it's pushing on off to the north and east at about 45 miles per hour. So ominous sky conditions as we take a look across the region, showing you some of that heavy rainfall in sections of, I think that's, what is that on the top?
So Scott, that's Westchester on the top,
Westchester
and then
on the
Wilmington
top.
on the bottom.
Wilmington
I am curious as to what you make of this cloud cover over Wilmington. That's the bottom right there.
Yeah, that's basically part of the shelf cloud that moved out of Chester County, and that is what is impacting sections of northern Newcastle County right now, as well as Delaware County. So this is part of that cell that is capable of producing maybe a rain-wrapped tornado moving on off to the northeast at about 45 miles per hour. So what I'm going to do right now on radar is just query a few more things. We're going to take a look at the velocity again. Broad rotation has been showing up. So as we kind of step through things over the past half hour or so, there's been some weak rotation with this. So you can see moving through sections of Chester County, southern Chester County, northern sections of Newcastle County, as well as into Delaware County with this. So that's kind of what we've been watching with that particular cell. So rain wrapped indeed, weak rotation showing up on the signature here as we take a look at what's happening. And then I'm going to query just a few more things here just to see what we're talking about with the hail. So you can see it's had a history of some hail, quarter-sized hail. That pink, that fuchsia that you see is just kind of the potential in the upper levels of the atmosphere for some hail. Now, if that's making it all the way to the ground, that's still up for debate, but it has the potential of producing some nickel to quarter-sized hail as it continues pushing on off to the north and to the east. So let's get a look at radar again and show you just a heavy rainfall that's associated with this as it's pushing on off to the north and east once again at a pretty good clip. Now, the good news is it looks like they've allowed for that tornado warning to expire, but the not good news is that we still have the threat for winds in excess of 60 miles per hour to 70 miles per hour with this, as well as just torrential downpours. So it looks like they've allowed for that tornado warning to expire. But it's going to be a busy Thursday afternoon, guys.
And it looks like a severe thunderstorm warning issued now for Norristown, Philly, Drexel Hill areas of Delco. So, like you said, not out of the woods. Plenty of action still to come, especially there in Delaware County. Scott, great job keeping us updated there in Newcastle County. We're going to take a little break, come right back with the latest on your forecast and much more after this.